All about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's 6 kids, including those who have dropped the Pitt surname. Though Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt are no longer a couple, they remain connected as the co-parents of 6 children: Maddox, Zahara, Shiloh, Pax, Knox, and Vivienne. The ex-duo became mom and dad for the first time with the adoption of Maddox in 2001. Following his arrival, they welcomed 5 more kids before parting ways in 2016. They're the closest people to me in my life, and they're my close friends, Jolie once told Wall Street Journal magazine. We're 7 very different people, which is our strength. Jolie and Pitt's divorce was finalized in 2024, roughly 8 years after their initial split. Since then, the couture star has opened up about wanting to hide her pain and sadness from their kids. Pitt, for his part, reportedly knows he made mistakes during their 12-year partnership. Maddox, Zahara, Shiloh, Pax, Knox, and Vivienne are all now either adults or on the cusp of entering adulthood. And despite, or perhaps because of, growing up in the spotlight, they do not intend to follow in their parents' footsteps by pursuing careers in front of the camera. They're especially shy, very private people, Jolie told E! News at the premiere of her film Maria. And they want to be private. Ahead, here's everything you should know about Jolie and Pitt's 6 children, including which have dropped the surname Pitt in the wake of their parents' divorce. Jolie's parenting journey began when she stepped into a children's orphanage in Battambang, Cambodia, in 2001. Recounting the visit later in an interview with Vanity Fair, the actress explained that she didn't feel a connection with any of the kids, that is, until she met Maddox. They then said, "There's one more baby." Jolie saw Maddox lying in a box hanging from the ceiling, and "I cried and cried," she said. She adopted her son on her own, though she was married to Billy Bob Thornton at the time. The couple split just a few months after she brought Maddox home. Jolie began dating Pitt in 2005, and the actor officially adopted Maddox before the end of the year. Flash forward a decade, and Maddox was already working alongside his mom as the executive producer of First They Killed My Father, a film concerning the Cambodian genocide by the Khmer Rouge regime. In 2019, he entered Yonsei University in South Korea. "I'm so happy for Maddox, that he's grown up into such a good man," Jolie told Entertainment Tonight at the time. "I say that 'cause he's smart and he's doing his work, but he's also wild. He's balanced in his teenage years." Most recently, Maddox played the role of assistant director on his mom's 2026 drama Couture. The 24-year-old seemingly ditched his dad's surname, as evidenced by the film's end credits. Zahara Marley. Jolie and Pitt adopted their second eldest child from an orphanage in Ethiopia in 2005. The trip to Africa was originally prompted by Maddox, who had apparently taken an interest in visiting the continent. "Mad loves her," Jolie said at the time. "When Z came home, she was older. She was 7 months old. So for Mad, it's like having this tiny pet he can just hold and look at. He's great." Zahara later returned to Africa with her parents for a special visit in 2019, during which she met Ethiopia's president, Sahle-Work Zewde. She is currently working toward her degree at Spelman College, where she not so subtly dropped her Pitt surname at a 2023 sorority event. "My daughter is from Ethiopia, one of my children. And I have learned so much from her," Jolie told Vanessa Nakate during a Time 100 talk. "She is my family, but she is an extraordinary African woman, and her connection to her country, her continent, is her own, and it's something I only stand back in awe of." 1 year after adopting Zahara, Jolie and Pitt revealed that they were expecting a baby. Shiloh was born that May in Swakopmund, Namibia. Sure's so full of light and love. She's just a little honey and very, very funny, Jolie told MSN in 2007. I think I'm recognizing some of myself in that one. She's going to be a little bit of trouble. Since joining the family, Jolie's lookalike daughter has traveled all over the world with her mother for various humanitarian causes, including a trip to the Middle East for World Refugee Day when she was just 9 years old. And like Zahara, she has also opted to drop Pitt from her name, a change that became official in August 2024. The reminders that he's lost his children are not easy for Brad. An insider told people at the time. He loves his children and misses them. It's very sad. Pax joined the Jolie-Pitt fold at age 3 when he was adopted from an orphanage in Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam. Jolie spoke about his transition to family life with MSN in 2007. He spent 3.5 years of his life in one place, in one room, in this one little iron bed with 20 other kids, and having no choice for himself to do things, having no freedom. And suddenly, here he is in a very free situation with new brothers and sisters and a mom and dad, she explained. He's learning English and he's so loving and he's wild and free, 'cause he suddenly has freedom, so he's a little wild and crazy. But what a tough, remarkable little person. Pax and Maddox quickly bonded and worked together on the aforementioned film First, They Killed My Father in 2015. We work well together, Jolie said of working alongside her sons. When a film crew is at its best, it feels like a big family, so it felt natural. In 2008, Jolie gave birth to twins Knox Jolie-Pitt and his sister Vivienne. She later explained that he was named after Pitt's grandfather, Knox Hill House. It is chaos, but we are managing it and having a wonderful time, Jolie told people at the time. Knox managed to avoid the spotlight for most of his childhood minus the time he voiced a character on Kung Fu Panda 3. He most recently stepped out with his mother for the 2024 Governor's Awards at Dolby Theater in Hollywood, California. Vivienne arrived 1 minute after Knox on July 12, 2008 in Nice, France. Jolie named her daughter after her grandmother, whose name was Marceline. She quickly followed in her Jolie's footsteps by making her on-screen debut in 2014's Maleficent. Most recently, she teamed up with her mother to work behind the scenes on Jolie's Broadway adaptation of The Outsiders. Viv reminds me of my mother in that she isn't focused on being the center of attention, but in being a support to other creatives, Jolie told people. She's very thoughtful and serious about theater and working hard to best understand how to contribute. Like her sisters Shiloh and Zahara, Vivienne also appears to have dropped her Pitt surname, as evidenced by the playbill for The Outsiders, which listed her